Hello everyone, what's up? Welcome to the session, welcome to The Alchemist. A very, very, very happy Diwali to all of you. Yeah, and you must be wondering, sir, आज दिवाली के दिन class क्यों रख ली? Yeah, so just wanted to wish you guys a very happy Diwali. And this will not be a very long class, okay? So don't worry. We will just do like one or two reactions for the sake of it, to give the festive time and auspicious, to make it auspicious. Yeah, वो बोलते हैं ना कि if on a good day you study, or if on a good day you do something that you want to achieve in life, it's always better, right? You know that jazz. So just to make this Diwali a little more auspicious for you guys, I wanted to take a class, and we'll not do a very long one, we'll do a short one so that you can go back and enjoy the festivities as well. Fine. So once again, a very, very happy Diwali to all of you. I'll just introduce you to a few things about Unacademy as usual. Then we'll do like one or two reactions, and then we will end the class. Okay? So just like a very simple Diwali session for all of you. Fine. और बताओ दोस्तों, I hope everyone is enjoying the festival. Wish my best to your families as well. ठीक है, अपनी फैमिली को भी अच्छे से एक बारी विश कर देना मेरी तरफ से. ऑलराइट, एक सेकेंड दोस्तों, आई नीड टू फिक्स माई लैपटॉप, जस्ट अ सेकेंड. Okay, so people, a few things about Unacademy. First thing, of course, is we've got for you the very interesting Unacademy's Plus subscription, India's best subscription, because you get all the amazing teachers from the country teaching live on Unacademy's platform. Yeah, and we don't only teach live, we also share a lot of content with you guys. So in case you want this advantage in your preparation to be better than everyone else, then you can go for the Plus subscription. If you say enroll for 12 months, a little more than 3,000 a month, which is a very good deal for you guys. Use the code PAHUL for the maximum possible discount. Brilliant advantages, and you can learn from as many teachers as you want once you are a part of the Plus subscription. Okay, we have something called the Iconic subscription as well, where you get personal mentorship added to the Plus subscription. So it is like better than the best. Fine. So in case you want that advantage in your preparation, then definitely make sure you enroll into the Iconic subscription, because you will get a personal mentor at all points of time, which is obviously something very important, yeah, for your preparation. काफी help हो जाती है उस चीज से. ठीक है जी. तो now, apart from this, yeah, apart from the Plus subscription, the Iconic subscription, the code remains the same. ठीक है, Pahul, that's my name. That's your coupon code. Okay, we have something called the Bugs Bounty as well. Basically, in the Bugs Bounty, what happens is, if you find there is anything inappropriate in our video, then you can report it using the links in the description box down below. And if you're the first one to report a certain issue, you will be able to win a certain prize as well. ठीक है जी. Apart from these things, we have one very interesting offering for you. Let me show that to you. ये देखो. We have something called Unacademy's Champions League. Okay, so what's this? It is basically a series of tests. Okay, it's an all India level scholarship test. Dates are given 10th, 14th and 21st of November. Okay, that is the group stage, and then you will qualify to the final stage. In the final stage, if you're able to reach, okay, and if you're able to win the final stage as well, if you're able to score well in the final stage, then you know what happens? You will be able to win prizes and scholarship for the Plus subscription. So just have a look at the prizes that we have for you. एक बार देखो जरा कितने मस्त prizes हैं. Okay, in the group stage, if you win, you can win 20,000 rupees. If you win the main prize at the end, you can win a lakh rupees as well. So we've got this Unacademy's Champions League for you. If you want to enroll in it, the QR code is also on the screen. Otherwise, links in the description box down below. If it asks you for an invite code, use my name. बढ़िया, ठीक है, चलो. So now, my dear friends, just to, as I told you, we won't go too much into the details of anything today. ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं करेंगे आज. एक दो reaction करेंगे just to make this a good Diwali. Fine. So few revision batches have been started. Few are going to start very soon. So yeah, Unacademy Plus subscription right now is a very good time to join. बढ़िया. तो चलो अब एक क्वेश्चन मैं कराऊंगा which is going to be very important for your board examinations, okay? And this particular question for your board examinations, I think it's like the Viva favorite, okay? Whenever you have your Viva and this time around you have your multiple choice question boards, this is like a favorite. The question is, why can't you keep ethers, okay? Why can't you keep ethers in a bottle out of the cupboard? This is one way in which they can ask you a question, that why can't you keep ethers, let's say they're in a bottle, okay, but you've kept it outside the cupboard. आपने ether की bottle बना के you kept it somewhere. Why can't you keep it? That's generally the kind of question that is asked. ठीक है? Now the thing is, if you do this mistake, okay, let's say you're working in the laboratory one fine day and you're working with some ethers, then you know half a bottle of ether without even turning the क्या कहते हैं lid properly, without even closing it tightly, you just keep it and go away for your lunch. Fine. You keep it right next to the window in a bottle that's not airtight. You keep it and you go away. After some time, when you come back from your lunch, you would realize that your laboratory does not exist anymore. It won't be that aggressive, but this is a problem because of some phenomena known as auto-oxidation. Okay, auto-oxidation of ethers. Basically, when you keep ethers in atmosphere, they start making such compounds that are explosive in nature. ठीक है, तो these ethers can become explosive in nature. ठीक है, and see the extent of this explosion would be they will explode. The bottle will break. Okay, patak karke the bottle will break apart. Fine. So that will be the extent of the explosion. Don't think as if the laboratory will burn down. Otherwise, there would have been lots of bad accidents already in this world. But it's just a minor explosion that happens. It's like the bottle was there and it patak, just like a firecracker, it just bursts apart. Fine. So that's why you do not want to keep ethers in the open or in the presence of sunlight. Okay. Now, exactly what happens over here? What is the compound that is formed which causes this explosion? Let me try to tell you that as well. So there are essentially two compounds that are made. Okay, there are essentially two compounds that are formed in auto-oxidation of ethers. ठीक है, तो पहले तो क्या होगा? You take an ether, let's say you take diethyl ether, fine, and in the presence of oxygen, in the presence of sunlight, okay, in the presence of oxygen, in the presence of sunlight, what happens is you get one step of oxidation, where instead of one oxygen over here, now you have another oxygen. ठीक है, कुछ ऐसा बन जाएगा आपके पास. Fine, this is what you will get. So this particular species is known as dialkyl. ठीक है, dialkyl peroxide. अरे वाह वाह वाह, lots of people saying happy Diwali in the chat box. Happy Diwali everyone. Amina is saying hello sir, tomorrow is my pre-boards. I only know a few concepts. Don't worry, whatever you know, just try to do the best out of that. And right now, if you can revise things from the NCERT, that will be really good for your examination. ठीक है. Crispin is saying, is it inert in nature? Sir, so see, inertness of any compound depends on what conditions you are taking it in. Yeah. So ethers, when present in sunlight, in the presence of oxygen, then they will react. Okay. तो पहले तो बन जाएगा आपके पास dialkyl peroxide. Instead of one oxygen, now you will have two oxygens over here. But the thing is that if you let it sit even more, if you let it sit even more for some more time in oxygen, in the presence of sunlight, then something even more interesting is formed. Do you want to see? ठीक है, ये तो आपके पास बना ही था. This guy was existing, very nice, but one more oxygen, okay, approaches on this particular carbon, something like this. ठीक है जी, ये ऑक्सीजन कहां से आया? Obviously from the atmosphere. Now you'll be wondering, sir, where did this hydrogen come from? Hydrogen came from here. Yeah, hydrogen has basically been substituted now, technically speaking. So this type of an oxidation happens, auto-oxidation bole to it just happens on its own. This species that we formed right now is known as alkyl hydroperoxide. Okay, alkyl hydroperoxide. And this particular species is explosive. Okay, so in your board examinations or in your viva, they might ask you a question like, what is auto-oxidation of ethers? That will be a very simple way to ask. What is the species that explodes when you keep ethers in such and such environment? Yeah, so alkyl hydroperoxide would be the answer in that case. Then the most common way of this question being asked is, why are ethers kept in dark bottles in the laboratory? Yeah, why are ethers kept in dark bottles in the laboratory? They're kept in dark bottles because you don't want to expose them to sunlight. So whenever you store ethers in the laboratory, you fill them up to the brim. Yeah, you fill them as much as you can, then close the bottle in a dark colored bottle, and then you keep it inside the cupboard so that they are away from sunlight. Fine. Cool. Sonal, I can't understand exactly what you're trying to say. If you already have options of CS in BITS Goa and CSC in VIT Vellore, both of them are really good options. You can actually go for it and not worry about anything else. Okay. Ritvik, that is interesting. Boltzmann's constant, is it? Yeah. Santosh, yes man, I definitely answer if I see a question. Okay. Siddharth, that viva teacher was a very lenient one apparently. Very nice. ठीक है, so दोस्तों ये हो गया अपना preparation of ethers, reactions of ethers are done. ठीक है, now let's just start phenols. थोड़ा सा करेंगे, then we will wrap up the session because I don't want to take a lot of time on a festival. ठीक है, so now comes the idea of phenols, and phenols are really interesting in the sense that this is the kind of compound phenols are. ठीक है, phenols ये type के compound होते हैं where there's a benzene ring and you have an OH on it. So this is a phenol. This is known as phenol. But if you have, let's say, groups on it or more aromatic ring, etc., 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 these are phenol derivatives. Overall, we call all of them phenols, right? So the first thing that is what we will do today is the preparation of phenols. Okay, phenol is, you know, very well prepared in the industry as well. It's a very important compound when it comes to a lot of organic synthesis. It serves as a very good starting point for a lot of organic synthesis. So in the industry, okay, in the industry, the first method of preparation of phenol, which is very, very important for you, is Dow's process. Okay, is Dow's process, and Dow's process basically in its essence is a nucleophilic aromatic substitution, NAS, or we can also call it SNAR. Have you attended the nucleophilic aromatic substitution class? Yeah, where we had done benzyne mechanism and all of that jazz. SNAR mechanism, there's a class named SNAR, okay, and we've done that in the alkyl halides chapter already. So if you know that mechanism, then this reaction is very easy for you. If you don't know that mechanism, then whenever you have the time, go back and watch the class of SNAR. Okay? And once again, whoever is joining the class right now, happy Diwali to all of you. Very, very happy Diwali. And let's do Dow's process. So Dow's process में करना क्या है? You take chlorobenzene. You take chlorobenzene, and chlorobenzene, as you know, can be very easily generated by electrophilic aromatic substitution. Simple halogenation reaction. Fine. Now what you do is you put fused NaOH. Fused NaOH bolo to melted NaOH, that you heat up NaOH to such a huge degree that it melts. You're not using aqueous NaOH over here. Okay, keep that in your mind. Fused NaOH is being used, and at the same time you have high temperature and you have high pressure as well. Yeah, temperature, you know, of the range of 400-500 degrees Celsius. Pressure also the range of 300-ish ATM. काफी high temperature pressure पे ये चीजें होती हैं. Fine. So the mechanism over here basically if you read something more about Dow's process, you will realize that 95% plus of the reaction is estimated to be Benzyne mechanism. Okay, 95% plus of this reaction is estimated to be Benzyne mechanism. Around 5% of the reaction mechanism is the Meisenheimer mechanism. Fine. Now for Benzyne mechanism, if you remember, you need a very strong base, right? And OH negative generally is not a very strong base to do Benzyne mechanism. That is why we are using such a concentrated NaOH. Yeah, there is no water over here. It's just melted NaOH. So it's very concentrated, very high strength of base over here. Also high temperature and high pressure. So this allows the Benzyne mechanism to happen even in the absence of a very strong base. Fine. At the same time, Meisenheimer complex can also be stabilized without any electron withdrawing group on benzene because of these high temperature and pressure conditions. So because we are taking such adverse conditions over here, both the mechanisms are possible, but it is estimated that the majority of the reaction happens via Benzyne mechanism. Okay, and how did people understand its Benzyne mechanism? Well, you notice ipso substitution as well as sine substitution. Let me tell you a little bit about ipso and sine. Let us say we take a benzene ring like this. Okay, let's try to do the Benzyne mechanism over here where the chlorine is here, and I have generated a benzene ring where this carbon is labeled. Yeah, where this carbon is a labeled carbon. So ये वाला जो carbon है, yellow carbon, I have labeled it somehow. I have put a different isotope of carbon over here. Yeah, C14 isotope. Fine. Somehow that is possible in the laboratory. So now when I react it with OH negative, if it's a Benzyne mechanism, what's going to happen, people? This proton will be abstracted by the OH negative, chlorine will leave as a leaving group, and then you will get a benzyne that looks like this. Now the next OH negative, when it has to approach, can approach either from this side or it can approach from this side as well. दोनों साइड से अप्रोच हो सकता है OH negative. Both sides can be used for approach. So when you approach it from this side, which is marked in yellow, you are getting a compound where the OH is substituted in the place of chlorine. Yeah, this is your star marked carbon, this is your star marked carbon over here. So right now when OH is substituted in the same place as chlorine was there, this is known as ipso substitution. Okay, it is known as ipso substitution. Ipso substitution means you are replacing the new thing at the same position as the earlier thing. Yeah, so you might have seen examples of ipso substitution when you take benzene sulfonic acid and do nitration on it. The sulfonic acid part, SO3H, will be replaced by an NO2 at the same position. So that's known as ipso substitution. On the other hand, if the substitution happens on the adjacent side, उसके साथ वाले में अगर substitution हो रहा है, if the OH group goes and sits over here, for instance, this is my star marked carbon, this will be known as a sine substitution. Yeah, so such amount of detail I don't think a lot of people will tell you, because this is not technically a part of the syllabus, the mechanism of Dow's process, ipso, sine, etc. But still, it is always good to understand the mechanism properly before moving forward in organic chemistry. Okay? Siddharth, yes, you are absolutely correct. In a typical benzyne mechanism, we use NH2 negative and NH3, but Dow's process has been found to follow the benzyne mechanism, and it is able to do that in the presence of a weaker base compared to NH2, because we have such high pressure, high temperature conditions, and we are taking a very concentrated NaOH over here. Getting the idea? Yeah. Cool. So, Ritvik, ipso means you are substituting OH on the same place as the chlorine. Yeah. Sine means you are substituting the OH one place ahead of the chlorine, basically. Yeah, so benzyne mechanism part, I think this recap is good enough. Otherwise, you guys go back and there is a class, okay? It's called SNAR, or you just search for SNAR Pahul sir on YouTube, you will find that class, okay? Watch the one that is on this channel. The classes that I've taken earlier in my career of SNAR are not that detailed, okay? The class that I took on this channel for SNAR, lots of detail, lots of interesting ideas I've told in that class. So Alchemist पे just search for that. अरे sorry, Vimla, thank you for correcting me once again. हाँ, sorry people, I marked the carbon incorrectly. This is the marked carbon. So thank you Vimla. Yes Santosh, haloalkanes last class. ठीक है जी. So this is your Dawes process. Now one more process which is sort of similar, okay, is known as the cumene process. ठीक है, Dawes process हो गया. Now the next process of formation of phenol is known as the cumene process. What is cumene? Cumene is basically this guy. There's a benzene ring over here and there is an antenna on benzene. Yeah, it's basically your isopropyl benzene. ठीक है, so this particular structure is known as cumene, and on cumene if we put oxygen, if we do oxidation, ठीक है, then what we will get first is something called cumene hydroperoxide. ठीक है, something like this is formed. Basically that hydrogen, instead of this hydrogen that is over here, O2 goes and sits in the middle. So you get this species which is known as cumene, just a second, cumene hydroperoxide. Okay, तो ये है आपका cumene hydroperoxide. Now my dear friends, all you need to do is you need to hydrolyze it in acidic conditions. Once you hydrolyze it in acidic conditions, you basically are going to get two things. One is a good old phenol, and the other thing that you get is acetone. Okay, these carbons that I'll mark in yellow right now, these carbons have come over here. Okay, so this is known as cumene's process. Fine. So now you must be wondering, sir, how does this happen? ये क्या हो गया? I'll give you a hint. Okay, I'll give you a hint. This is like auto oxidation of ethers. Yeah. So this hydrogen is basically oxidized with oxygen when you provide it a little bit of energy. Now in the next step, you know what happens? ये जो hydroperoxide है आपके पास, just to give you a hint of how this mechanism works. Yeah, this hydroperoxide, when you put water into it, when you put it in H positive, this guy captures a proton, H positive, this becomes positively charged, this becomes a very good leaving group. To replace this particular loss of electrons, this bond is actually moved. Okay, this bond, carbon-carbon bond, is actually moved to become a carbon-oxygen bond. Okay, so after it becomes a carbon-oxygen bond, just think of what the structure will look like. This guy over here, this oxygen, and then it has these two carbons on it. Can you see? That bond has just shifted from the carbon to carbon bond, it has become an oxygen to carbon bond. ठीक है, कुछ ऐसा shift हो जाएगा यहाँ पे. Fine. And once this shift happens, of course, there will be a positive charge on this particular carbon, isn't it? Because you are taking electrons away from this carbon, the white colored carbon over here. So that carbon develops a positive character. Now, after this, another water molecule will come and attack this particular positive charge. Okay? This mechanism is not very important, by the way, so if you write it down with me, if you're able to understand the basic idea behind it, it's more than enough. Fine. So यहाँ पे oxygen आया, this guy gets associated to this OH2, it can lose a proton, become OH, that's not a problem. And now it's just about a little bit of rearrangement, can you see? Now it's just about a little bit of rearrangement. This pair of electrons can go over here, this bond can break apart. Eventually, when you quench it with enough water, you are getting your final compounds, phenol and acetone. You can see, right? This is your phenol and this is your acetone, right? So this is basically how the cumene process works. Again, the mechanism of this reaction is not asked generally. I haven't seen this being asked earlier, but giving you an idea of how the reaction mechanism works. Fine. Andrew, I keep taking some doubt sessions as well. This month also, I think I'll do 1 or 2 doubt sessions on Unacademy's app for free. So you can join me over there. ठीक है. Otherwise you can ask me doubts in conversation sessions, or you can leave a comment down below, or you can just ask your friends as well. That will also be great. ठीक है जी. So this is your Q-means process. Very common process. Okay, you search for it on Wikipedia, you'll get so many ideas about Q-mean process of creation of phenols. ठीक है जी, बढ़िया, फाइन. और बताओ दोस्तों, what else? If you wanna ask me anything. Siddharth, okay bro. Here you go. Yes, Santosh, we will definitely do that, man. I will not stretch this class a lot anyway. ठीक है. So Cumene over here is formed by Friedel-Crafts alkylation. Okay, cumene यहाँ पे आप Friedel-Crafts से बनाते हो. You know Friedel-Crafts alkylation कैसे होता है, and then after that you use your oxidation. Fine. So it's basically a gaseous reaction. ठीक है. Basically speaking, it's a gaseous reaction. Aditya, yes, phenol can be produced via diazonium salts as well. ठीक है. Vimla, so yeah, it's basically a gaseous reaction. So the first part of this reaction is a gaseous Friedel-Crafts reaction. Then to stabilize whatever is being formed over here, ये जो चीजें बन रही हैं यहाँ पे, ठीक है, यहाँ पे ये सब जो बन रहा है, these thingies which are pretty unstable, okay, just to stabilize them better, you put a very high pressure onto the gaseous mixture, okay, so you compress it down to a liquid form. Yeah, so initially you start in a gaseous mixture में you create cumene first using your electrophilic aromatic substitution, Friedel-Crafts alkylation, and once you do that, उसके बाद you start compressing the mixture at 5 atm. So this reaction becomes a little more stable. It doesn't keep on reacting with other things. So essentially speaking, there's no solvent. Whatever we have over here is that's all. Kest, because the positive charge initially would be more stable by the benzene's resonance. That's why. Sahil, thank you so much, man. Happy Diwali to you as well. Yes, Umar. It's the same. So ipso substitution basically means you're replacing the thing at the same position. Yeah, so ipso substitution can be via electrophilic substitution, can be via nucleophilic substitution. Yeah, so the one that we've done earlier is electrophilic substitution. This one was nucleophilic substitution. That's the main difference between these two things. Badhiya ji? Nice. So these are the main methods of preparation of phenol. Okay, Dow's process and cumene process are the major ones. Now there are some other processes as well that you can do. You can prepare phenols from diazonium salts, है ना? You can take something like this basically. Just take aniline, ठीक है? Aniline बनाया and you put it in NaNO2 HCl to create the diazonium cation. Yeah, N2 positive Cl negative. That's what we have. Okay, थोड़ा मैं ऐसे कर देता हूँ so that Cl negative is also on the screen. And now the Cl negative, N2 positive Cl negative, you have to remove. Just throw it in more water. Okay, you throw it in more water. As the temperature increases, the N2 negative the N2 positive will leave as nitrogen, and you will get an OH group over here. So this is one more sort of secondary way of creation of phenols. Very nice. Santosh, NCRT is a good friend of yours in this situation. Aditya, that is good, but if you have time, then you should also move on to previous year questions. Lovely, no, I don't burst firecrackers. Yeah. बहुत टाइम से पटाखे नहीं चलाए यार मैंने. It's been ages. ठीक है. So one more process, okay, one more process of creation of phenols is via benzene sulfonic acid. All of you know how to create benzene sulfonic acid, yes? You take benzene, you put it in oleum, H2SO4, SO3, yeah? You get SO3H over here. This is benzene sulfonic acid. Now you do the same thing as you did in Dow's process. Instead of chlorine being the leaving group over there, SO3H is the leaving group now. Same thing as the Dow's process, okay? Fused NaOH. High temperature, high pressure, you will get phenol. Same benzene mechanism. Yeah. So that's the beauty of organic chemistry. Now that I have told you what is benzene mechanism, I don't need to talk about it again and again and again. And this is the bad part of organic as well, because if you've ever missed one class where I taught the benzene mechanism in detail, if you don't remember that class, then now everything is confusion. So yeah, you need to look at organic chemistry from the very beginning till the very end. If you miss any part in the middle, other things will become confusing to you. Last method of preparation of phenols that we will discuss, okay, is the method where we take sodium salicylate. You know salicylic acid? Yeah. Salicylic acid, yaad hai? So what is salicylic acid? OH. Yeah. And there is C double bond O, single bond OH. Instead of taking salicylic acid, we take the sodium salt of salicylic acid by reacting it with NaOH. Okay, so Na positive, O negative. This is known as sodium salicylate. Okay. अब इसमें करना क्या है? We just want to do decarboxylation. We just want to remove the CO2 from here. Yeah. Decarboxylation करने का यहाँ पे. How do we do decarboxylation over here? You put NaOH and calcium oxide in the presence of heat. This is your typical way of decarboxylation. Basically, you want to remove a CO2. This is the typical way of removing CO2 from anything. Okay. And this reaction we will do once again in much more detail in the carboxylic acids chapter. So whenever we do carboxylic acids chapter, you will see a lot more of it. So what is formed after this particular process? Basically, यहाँ से आपका CO2 निकल जाएगा. Okay. From here, CO2 leaves. So you can imagine something like this: that the oxygen goes here, the carbon, basically becomes CO2. Fine. ठीक है. तो यहाँ से CO2 बन जाएगा, and this bond will be substituted by an oxygen instead. Fine. So this guy becomes ONA. ठीक है. And then you can quench it with a little bit of water in acid to get phenol back again. Why are you not getting OH over here? Because the system is basic in nature. Basic system hai, so the phenol produced will automatically react with the base. So this particular process is known as, यहाँ पे अपन ने CO2 निकाला basically. This process is known as decarboxylation of sodium salicylate. Simple. J Warrior, even I don't, man. Sonal C partial drops are always inefficient. If you do want to get CSC eventually in bits, yeah, you can try for it, but yeah, you can just try for it if you want. Otherwise, VIT is actually a very good college, and in terms of its rank, it is ranked better than BITS Goa and Hyderabad generally. Yeah. फ्लोट कर दिया बोले तो सॉम, आई डोंट नो व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय फ्लोट कर दिया. See, if you ask me, I am from IIT Bombay and I did that same branch, okay, 5-year integrated MSc in chemistry. Now that has turned into Bachelor in Science. I would be very happy. I would go for that branch. Kunal, it's not about dedication, bro. I don't generally believe a lot in festivals. That's why I'm here. But it gives me an opportunity to wish you guys a very happy Diwali as well. Janesh, Duke 390 is the most efficient. Changed branch and college, bro. I would have gone to IIT Bombay, man. Like it's a once in a lifetime opportunity कि IIT Bombay मिल जाए. But anyway, I'm pretty sure the decision that you've taken, you've thought a lot about it. So if you've already made the decision, then fine. If you still have time, then go for IIT Bombay. Okay, fine. So people, the class technically is over. I don't want to teach you any more today because it's Diwali. I don't want to ruin your festive mood either. So let me just tell you that the next class is tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Okay, I will do like a strategy session tomorrow at 7 p.m. for boards versus JE type of a thing. Usme bhi, if you want to join, you can. Otherwise, the main class of organic tomorrow will be at 9:30 p.m. We will do reactions of phenols, and if time permits, we will do some questions. Otherwise, we'll do a question solving class separately. Chalo, badhiya. Janesh, in terms of the phenol reactions, the most efficient over here in terms of cost is the cumene process. That's why it's done the most in the laboratory as well. Okay? Because in other processes like Dow's process, etc., you have to maintain really high temperatures and pressures. Cumene process mein you have to maintain like a 5 atm pressure, which is very less compared to hundreds of atms of pressure. Yeah. So that's the one that is more cost efficient. Yeah. Janesh, I'm sorry. I thought Siddharth and you were asking the same thing. Siddharth, it was a nice feeling, bro. Raman, this is for 12th class students who are in 12th class right now. Yo, people. So once again, wishing you all a very, very happy Diwali. Don't want to do much today, obviously. So yeah, I'll just chat with you guys for 2-3 minutes and then we'll wrap up the session. Yeah. अरे हाँ विमला, I had asked you a question in the previous class, right? What was that question? हाँ ये question मैंने दिया था, right? So this was your homework question. Basically, my dear friends, the thing is that in this particular condition, since you're taking HI and the substrate over here, look at the left side. Yeah, look at the benzyl side. The benzyl side is actually good for both SN1 and SN2. Yes, remember? Okay. So what will happen over here is the nucleophile via SN1 or SN2, whatever, would prefer approaching this guy. Because there are two reactions that can happen with that particular carbon, only one reaction that can happen with this particular carbon. Yes. So since two reactions can happen with this carbon, the products that you will get, yeah, more probability of reaction with the benzyl carbon, you will get benzyl iodide plus you will get methanol as one of the products. So this is what the answer to that question would be. This is something that I had asked you guys in the previous class. Let me try to open up the previous class for you. Let me just try to, read the names of people from the previous session who've given me the correct answer to this question. Sorry, just a second, people. Trying to open that session. Let's see if anyone has commented. Vimala, very good job. You gave the correct answer. Benzyl carbon and methanol are found. Yes, Kest, you are absolutely correct. So only two people basically gave the answer in the previous class apparently. Kest and Vimala, very good job. बहुत बढ़िया. ब्रोक इज सेइंग यार ये ऑर्गेनिक में बहुत दिमाग खर्चा करना होता है। ब्रोक यार ऑर्गेनिक ऐसी चीज़ अगर आप शुरू से पढ़ोगे ना अच्छे से तो बिल्कुल भी दिमाग खर्चा नहीं करना पड़ता, मज़ा आता है। अगर एक भी चीज़ छोड़ दी ना बीच में फिर ऐसा लगता है यार ये चल क्या रहा है। तो अगर आपने जनरल ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री अच्छे से नहीं की तो जीओसी पहले अच्छे से करो, फिर स्टेप बाय स्टेप आगे बढ़ो। इस चैनल पे सब हो रखा है, आप वहाँ से शुरू कर सकते हो। Promising, I want to start coordination commerce from scratch. Can you recommend any source? NCRT. That's it. Vasu, no, I didn't watch that. Srinivas Rao, I have no idea when J mains first attempt will happen. Yeah. Aditya, you're doing a decarboxylation, right? You are taking away the carbonyl carbon. Rosanthi, I did not celebrate anything as such. Just a usual day for me, basically. Vibhav, so the thing is that, you know, it takes a little bit of maturity to understand this, but even when the classes are joined by hundreds or thousands of students, only like 5 or 10 students are actually interested in the class. Rest of them are there because rest of them are there. Okay. So the people who are actually benefiting from the classes are only those 5, 10, 15, 20 people at max. And as long as those people are watching the classes, I'm happy with it. Yeah. So as a teacher, if I can help even one person, you know, improve their quality of life, it's a win for me. Ishatwa Chobe, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. All you need to do in that case is solve more and more questions while you're studying new chapters, okay? Sometimes we do this, we read the theory and then we think we'll solve questions at the end. Worst possible method of preparation. If you've done half of alcohol's chapter, you solve questions related to at least that part. Simultaneously, you have to solve questions in a day. If you're studying for 3 hours of theory, you should be doing 7 hours of questions. Fine. Apurva, cool man, thank you so much. Happy Diwali. Parth, for inorganic boards, read the NCRT, solve NCRT questions. That is pretty much good to go. Rahul, it's okay man, you can attend the classes later whenever you have the time. Yes, high tech, the class is basically done because I did not want to do a lot of things today in the class because of Diwali. So I was like, you guys go and celebrate. Apurva, chalo badhiya yaar. ठीक है. Vasanthi is asking about what are HOMO and LUMO. HOMO is highest occupied molecular orbital, LUMO is lowest unoccupied molecular orbital. Just do a quick Google search on it, you will be able to understand better, because right now I'm not doing a doubt solving class as such. Vasu, the more you think about it, the worse it will become. See, there are some things in life that are necessary, there are some things in life that are unnecessary. Now it depends on person to person what they consider necessary, what they consider unnecessary. In absolute terms, humans have still not been able to define what is necessary and what is unnecessary. For some persons, some people, something might be necessary, but for the others it might not be. Yeah, so it's not hypocrisy, it's just different people have different perspectives, man. That's all. Carrie saying there are only 3 months left for JEE and I don't know any chapter in chemistry. What should I clear to get at least 50 marks? Just start from the beginning of NCRT, bro, and do every chapter one by one and do it well. Because if you start any chapter from the middle, you might not be able to understand the things in those chapters. Ishatwa, at least do that, then move forward for more difficult questions. Okay. Apramaya, good. Chalo, so doston, that's it from my side for this class. Thank you so much for joining me. Once again, a very, very happy Diwali to all of you. Again, telling all of you people who've just joined, I started the session at 9:30, but I told that I will teach only a few reactions and then we will wrap up the session because I want you to enjoy the festival. Just wanted to make this festival a little more auspicious, a little more nice, because doing, studying at auspicious occasions is considered something good. Just wanted to do that for you. Anyway, today we have covered auto-oxidation of ethers and we've covered all the reactions of preparations of phenol. So you can check this class out if you've joined later. If you enjoyed the class, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Stay subscribed. I am going to see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. for a strategy session, 9:30 p.m. for organic chemistry class and 11 p.m. for casual conversation session. So happy Diwali once again, people. Bye bye, good night, take care.